Master, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. In this epic speech, Peter Billingham is going to deliver Project 4 from the storytelling manual, The Touching Story. The summary. Storytellers want their audience to feel emotions, whether it be love, hate, anger, happiness, hope, or courage. Experiencing emotions involves your listeners in the story. It keeps their attention and helps them to remember it. Objectives: to understand the techniques available to arouse emotion, to become skilled in arousing emotions while telling a story. I look forward to this speech from Peter.
Peter, what lies on the other side of adversity?
Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters and special guests, I've got a question to ask you. And the first question I want to ask you is an epic question, and it's this: what lies on the other side of adversity? What lies on the other side of adversity? Adversity comes into our life in different ways. We can make crazy mistakes. We do stupid things. We do things that we think will have no consequence to us, and we get it wrong, and adversity comes into our life. Other people do stupid things. They do things that they think will have no consequences. And adversity comes into our life from their crazy, stupid, foolish decisions. But there is also adversity that comes into our life which we have no control over. Random, unwanted, uninvited adversity that strikes at us when we least expect it, and it can swipe our feet from out underneath us. And we're left asking the question, what lies on the other side of this adversity? Amy Purdy was a 19-year-old student. She had a great future in front of her. She was a snowboarder. And not only was she a snowboarder, she was a very good snowboarder. And she wanted to win a gold medal. She went through college and she graduated with a job that would allow her to travel the world and do nothing else but snowboarding, and she was a full-time masseuse. She got an ideal job that she wanted in Denver, Colorado. And she got there, and she'd only been there a couple of weeks, and she was living her dream. The kind of story, really, that, you know, you hear about somebody that, I want to do this when I grow up. And they end up doing it. And you think, good on you. One day she came home from work, and she just got a little bit of a cold. She just felt under the weather. 24 hours later, she was nearly dead. She'd contracted viral meningitis. She was on life support, and they really thought that it was her last day. Thankfully, she survived that critical moment of adversity, an epic adversity in her life that she didn't expect from anywhere. But she lost a kidney, she lost a spleen, and she lost both her legs at the knees. What lies on the other side of adversity? When I was 34, I had a complete change in my life. I went back to university. I'd spent many years being in the insurance industry. I got what was considered to be a good job. I was a senior branch manager of the whole of the Midlands region. I got a fancy car office with a corner suite, everything that you thought would be good. And I thought I'd give that up because I want to go back to university. And everybody else thought I was an epic fool. I don't know about anything else. But I had about 6 weeks during the summer before I'd start this course. So I got all these years of logistics and planning and organising people and building teams. I got all this experience. Like, now, how can I use it? Well, my wife came home from work and I said, sweetheart, Nora, I've got really good news for you. I've spent the morning thinking about how you do the washing and cleaning, and I think you can do it far more efficiently than you're doing it. That was an epic failure. What lay on the other side of that adversity? I got the job of doing the washing. It was my job from then onwards. So the trouble with adversity, we don't know where we are in it. If you knew you were at the beginning of your adversity, or if you knew you were in the middle of your adversity, or if you knew you was at the end, you might be able to somehow cope with it. But not knowing when adversity comes into our life, where we are, sucks out of us the very thing that every one of us need, and that is hope. We can live for quite a while without food. We can live a reasonable while without water. We can even live a certain amount of time without air. But I don't think we can live 1 second without hope. And this is what helped Amy Purdy move forward to find out what lay on the other side of adversity for her. She struggled with prosthetic legs. So she teamed up with a manufacturer to make her own. And within 3 months, she had developed a set of legs that she could use to snowboard with. Not only that, not only did she get good enough to snowboard again, but she became a back-to-back world champion and gold medal winner at snowboarding. She set up a charity that provides prosthetic limbs to children who have been damaged through landmines. And she actually was a finalist in the American version of Dancing with the Stars, what we would call Strictly Come Dancing. What lies on the other side of adversity comes down to something that Viktor Frankl, a very famous psychologist, said. And he said this: everything can be taken from a human being apart from one thing, and that is the moment of choice and how you respond to it. Everything can be taken from you apart from your ability to make a decision of how you are going to respond in any given situation. When they asked Amy, if you could change things, if you could go back to how your life was, maybe if you could wind the clock back and you could go and say, this isn't going to happen, what would you do? She said, I wouldn't want it to change. She said, what I had as an adversity became an adventure. She said, what seemed like the end actually was just the very beginning. What seemed like failure actually became the most fantastic journey that I could ever have had. Each of us are going to face adversity. If you haven't faced adversity yet, that's either because you've just come out of some, or, not to worry you, it's on its way. It's coming. How you respond to that will dictate what lies on the other side. Let me give you one word, what lies on the other side. What lies on the other side of adversity is transformation. And whether that transformation is for the good or whether the transformation is for the bad actually comes down a lot to us, to how we decide to respond in that given moment. You ask a caterpillar and a butterfly about struggle. What lies on the other side of adversity? Transformation. I hope that you and I, when we face adversity, remember the story of Amy and remember that transformation can take place. It comes down to how we respond to it. Let him touch us.